Never thought the words, "You're not invited to Christmas this year," would come out of my own dad's mouth. But there he was, standing in the doorway of my childhood home, his face cold and unrecognizable. The lights behind him twinkled, the smell of gingerbread filled the air, and yet, I felt nothing but ice in my veins. He said it so sharply, like it was the easiest thing in the world to cut me out of the family. I stared at him for a long time before saying a single word. Fine. But deep down, I was breaking. Tell me honestly, would you still go back if your own dad told you not to come home for Christmas? I guess to understand how I got here, I need to go back. Growing up, Christmas was always my favorite time of year. My mom made it magical. She'd bake cookies, decorate the tree with ornaments from every year of our lives, and play the same cheesy holiday songs over and over. My dad, he was the quiet type. Worked long hours, didn't talk much about feelings, but every Christmas, he'd surprise us with something heartfelt. One year he built me a wooden toy chest by hand. Another year, he bought my mom a music box that played her favorite tune. Back then, I thought our family was perfect. But things started to crack when I turned 16. My parents' marriage wasn't as perfect as I thought. My dad started coming home late, always, working late, and my mom started crying in the kitchen after midnight, pretending she was just tired. I pretended not to notice. I guess I didn't want to see it. But the breaking point came when my mom found text messages. Long, flirty ones, from a woman named Karen. I still remember the night she confronted him. I was upstairs doing homework when I heard yelling, then crying, then something break. When I came downstairs, my dad's suitcase was packed, and he was gone. After that, it was just me and Mom. Christmas lost its magic. We still decorated the tree, but it felt forced, like we were trying to hold on to something that wasn't there. Then, just 2 months later, Mom got sick. It started as exhaustion and constant coughing. The doctor said it was pneumonia, but then the tests came back. It was stage 4 lung cancer. She'd never even smoked. I tried to stay strong for her, but inside I was terrified. I called my dad and told him. He said he'd try to visit soon. He never did. Mom passed away that November. I was 18. I buried her alone. Dad didn't show up for the funeral. His excuse. I couldn't face her family. That was the day something inside me hardened. I went to college out of state, worked part-time, and tried to build a life. Every Christmas after that, I spent alone or with friends who pitied me. My dad and I spoke only once or twice a year. Short, awkward calls where he'd ask how I was doing but never apologize. Then, 5 years later, I got a text from an unknown number. "Hey, it's Dad. Let's talk." I almost ignored it, but curiosity got the better of me. We met at a coffee shop near his house. When I walked in, I barely recognized him. He'd aged a lot. Grayer hair, tired eyes. But what shocked me more was the woman sitting next to him. Karen, the woman who destroyed our family. He smiled like nothing had happened. "This is Karen," he said. "We got married last year." I felt my stomach twist. He didn't even look sorry. I wanted to walk out right there, but something in me wanted closure. We talked for a while. He told me he wanted to rebuild our relationship. He said he missed me. Karen smiled politely the whole time, like she was just waiting for me to forgive and forget. I didn't. But I agreed to stay in touch. Maybe some part of me hoped he'd finally change. The following year he invited me to spend Christmas with them. I hesitated, but loneliness is a powerful thing. When I arrived, the house looked exactly like my childhood home. Same decorations, same lights, same carols playing in the background. Except now, it wasn't Mom's warm laughter I heard, it was Karen's fake giggle. And my dad, he looked genuinely happy. Throughout dinner, Karen kept talking about our traditions. She'd say things like, "Oh, we always make gingerbread together," or "We always open presents at midnight." She'd only been in his life for a few years, but she said it like she'd been there forever. I stayed quiet, but inside I was boiling. Then she did something that broke me completely. She handed out gifts. To my dad, to her 2 kids from her previous marriage. And then she looked at me and said, "Oh, I didn't know what you'd like, so I didn't get anything." My dad didn't even notice. He was too busy laughing. I left before midnight, tears freezing on my face. That night I promised myself I'd never go back. Fast forward to last December. Out of nowhere, my dad called. "I want you home for Christmas?" he said. "It's been too long." Against my better judgment, I agreed. Maybe I just wanted some kind of peace. I spent days picking the perfect gift. A framed photo of Mom, the last picture we ever took together. I thought maybe it would remind him of what he lost. When I pulled into the driveway, the house was glowing with lights. I took a deep breath, grabbed the gift, and knocked. Karen opened the door. She froze when she saw me. "Oh, I didn't realize you were coming," she said flatly. Then Dad appeared behind her, smiling. "You made it." For a moment, I felt hopeful. But that hope died fast. Karen's kids were there again, laughing and taking selfies by the tree. They called him Dad. I was invisible. When dinner started, Karen sat at the head of the table, right where my mom used to sit. I couldn't stop staring at her, wondering if she knew how much she'd taken from me. Then my dad made a toast. To family, to love, and to new beginnings. Everyone clapped, everyone except me. After dinner I gave him the gift. He unwrapped it slowly, then stared at the photo. His smile vanished. Karen frowned. "You still keep that old picture around," she said. I froze. Dad just sighed. "Maybe this wasn't a good idea," he muttered. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said quietly, "She was your wife, my mother. You can't just erase her." Karen crossed her arms. "We're trying to move forward, not live in the past." That's when it happened. Dad stood up, his voice sharp. "You're not invited to Christmas this year." It felt like the air was sucked out of the room. I stared at him, waiting for him to take it back. He didn't. "You always come here and cause drama," he said. "Maybe it's better if you stay away." Everyone was watching. My hands were shaking, but I managed to say one word. "Fine." I walked out. The snow was falling hard. My car was covered in white, but I didn't feel the cold. All I could think was, how did we get here? My dad had chosen his new family over me, his only child. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to think about it. If your own father told you to stay away from Christmas, would you fight for forgiveness or walk away forever? Pause for a second and tell me in the comments what you'd do. Because at that moment, I didn't know what the right choice was. I spent Christmas Eve in a cheap motel, watching the snow through the window, wondering if I'd made a mistake. Then my phone buzzed. A text from my aunt, my mom's sister. I heard what happened. "Come over tomorrow. We'll have our own Christmas." I didn't hesitate. When I arrived, she hugged me tight. Her house was small but warm. The tree was simple, but there were memories everywhere. Photos of Mom, old ornaments I recognized from childhood. For the first time in years I felt peace. We laughed, cooked, told stories about Mom. It felt right. That night, my aunt handed me an envelope. Inside was a letter. Handwritten, dated 2 months before Mom died. It was from her. My aunt explained that Mom had given it to her, saying to give it to me when I was ready. I unfolded it with trembling hands. Mom's handwriting was shaky but full of love. She wrote, "If you ever feel alone, remember you were my greatest joy. Don't chase people who make you feel small. Family isn't always blood. It's who shows up when it matters." I cried harder than I ever had before. That letter healed something inside me. The next day I posted a photo of me and my aunt with the caption, "Home isn't a place, it's people." My dad saw it. He called. I ignored it. Then he called again. Finally I picked up. His voice was quiet. "I'm sorry," he said. I shouldn't have said what I said. He explained that Karen had felt threatened by me, that she thought I was trying to replace her role. I told him calmly, "She could never replace Mom, but you already replaced me." There was silence on the line. Weeks passed. I didn't hear from him again, until one afternoon, a small package arrived. Inside was the photo frame I'd given him, but now it had a note taped to the back. It said, "You were right. I can't erase her. I'm sorry, and I hope one day you'll come home again." I didn't respond. Not yet. I keep that frame on my desk now, as a reminder that love can't be forced. It has to be earned. Maybe one day I'll forgive him. But for now I've learned to build my own family, with people who choose me. So yeah, when my dad said, "You're not invited to Christmas this year." It broke me for a while, but in the end, it set me free. If you were in my place, would you forgive him? Let me know in the comments. And if you've ever had to cut someone out of your life for your own peace, I want you to know, you're not alone. Like this video if you think I did the right thing, subscribe for more true stories like this, and share your thoughts down below. I'll see you all in the next story.